so this is a perfect segue, and again, I think when we know that we're personalizing learning, right, how that just empowers our students to feel connected, have those relationships, and we know that they're able and ready to learn. And so this next panel is going to be great. Thanks to Blue Cross Blue Shield for that video and for being such a generous sponsor. If you haven't done the guided walk, make sure you try to do that too. Since 2018, West Fargo Public Schools has been working to make learning personal for all learners. Here to talk about their journey with personalized learning is a team of educators who has worked with elementary, middle, and high school staff and learners to implement PCBL into their schools and across the district. Here to tell us more, about how they are making it personal for their students, please welcome the West Fargo team of Michael Stetcher, Missy Kramer, Chelsea Mithun, Sue Jordahl, Sherry Demain, Amy Voke, Jody Pfeiffer, and Aaron Spees. Please welcome them to the stage.
Check. All right. Thank you for being here today. I am Michael Stetcher. I was tasked with building the why on why we want to make learning personal for kids. And honestly, there's a lot of routes you can go with this. It's more fun to teach that way. The learning is better. Teacher or learner agency and teacher retention. But honestly, I'm an educator at heart, and I feel like the best whys are activities. And so we are going to do a quick activity to feel what it feels like and why we should move to making learning personal. And so at your table, there is a reading that is handed out. Don't flip it over yet. Now, it's going to be a simulation kind of twofold with some unique pieces in there. But I am going to model being a teacher. And I am going to, kind of a Steve Dunn strategy, I'm going to verbally just talk my inner monologue of being a teacher while I have a class doing a reading. You might relate to this. You are going to model being a learner. However, I would like it if one or two people at each table do not have a reading and just listen to me and really try to picture being a teacher in the classroom. Is that fair? All right, I'll give you guys a second to decide who's reading, who is going to just listen, and then I will start. All right, class, please bring your attention to me. I'm going to try my best to bring out my best actor right now, and I'm going to be the teacher. If you are not reading, again, you are going to try to put yourself in my shoes and be the teacher. This article is brought by Cult of Pedagogy. It is a great one. So I'm going to teach the class. I think 3 minutes is maybe an appropriate time to do this reading, so I'm going to start a 3-minute timer. Please start reading. Awesome. The whole class is reading. Sarah sometimes causes issues, so I'm going to stand by her. Man, Marcus just went to the bathroom. He's not the fastest reader, so I'm going to have to maybe pull him at recess and get him caught up. Tim, make sure we're eyes on your own paper. Oh, Joey's gone today? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out a way for him to do this. Oh, of course, Nathan is done already? Okay, usually when he gets bored, he causes issues. I'm gonna go stand by him. Okay, it looks like more kids are done, but I don't want to cut it off yet. Right now we're reading. Okay, like half of us are done. Teachers listening, would you cut it off right now? Half of us are done, half are bored. Okay, maybe 40% left. I want to cut it off soon, but man, if I do, those kids are going to feel really bad. They're going to feel dumb. They're going to feel like they aren't with their peers. Okay, I'm going to add 20 seconds. So I know I said 3 minutes, but I'm going to add 20 seconds. Man, there's 3 kids left reading. I have to cut it. I can't wait all day. We have other activities. All right, everyone, I would like you to turn your paper over, face down. I'm going to have you guys turn and talk in a moment, but one small thing. It's not even small. What I just did was cut some of you off from the reading, and we do it all the time in classes, right? We have to, because we're controlling the pace. When I do that, indirectly, not intentionally, but I'm telling you the reading's not important because you didn't finish, but you'll be fine. So it's not important. And if it's not important, why do we do it? So I'd like you guys to have a conversation. Could the teachers that were just listening and trying to put themselves in a teacher's shoes in this situation, can you guys start the conversation first? What did it feel like? Go ahead. What resonated with you? All right, guys, we'll bring it back in about 15 seconds. Go to the next one. All right. So the truth is, there was removal of choice from your ability to learn. Right? We were all learning the exact same way. I'm not saying reading's not important. Sometimes that's necessary. But in this situation, we were all reading the exact same thing. However, I wanted to play up the individual differences that we have in the room. And so some of your readings were meant to make you in that moment feel potentially like an English language learner, or someone that the lexile is just too high and the complex words you had to use context clues for. Or someone that just, some type of disability where the fonts and it's hard to read, whether that's eyesight, dyslexia. And so hopefully some of you felt that in the moment. And the truth is, when we take away choice, learners feel frustrated, which I'm guessing many of you did right there. When we take away pace and we have the teacher leading the pace, the teacher feels frustrated. Right? When do I stop the time? How do I catch the kid who just went to the bathroom? These kids are talking and they're not learning, but the activity's going on regardless. And so it is frustrating as a teacher. It can be frustrating for the kids. And then it also, when the teacher controls the pace, you probably felt some anxiety. You probably felt like you were in a classroom again of, I need to finish this. Okay, how far are they? I'm going to skip this paragraph because I want to make sure no one's waiting on me. I remember that feeling in the class. And so hopefully this resonated with you. But there's other ways to build the why, and so I think the next step would be to listen to some of our learners about it.
Yeah, so we thought it would be great to hear from our learners in West Fargo Public Schools and have them explain a little bit about the why. So we're gonna watch a video here that is from our learners' perspectives.
All right, so how do you set goals?
I don't.
I really don't set goals. I just really procrastinate a lot because it's self-paced. So when I procrastinate, I don't do it till the last day. Usually it turns out pretty well, but the work can overload.
But I just feel like I'm kind of thrown into everything, and I feel like it's constantly assignment after assignment after assignment, and I just can't do it and stuff, and it's a lot.
Learning is a constant state of flux. Every school strives to ask and answer the question, what can we do to innovate our practices today to help today's learners prepare for tomorrow? The reality is that many learners feel directionless and struggle to set goals for themselves. The shift to personalized learning has helped create the best kind of school experiences for students. Personalized learning helps to empower us instead of engage us. You see, when schools try to engage us, they ask us to get excited about their content, interests, and curriculum. When schools try to empower us, they ask us to attain the knowledge and skills to pursue our passions and interests and futures. When students of all levels are empowered through personalization, it's easy to see what learners love. Even though the thought of changing the way a classroom works can be scary, personalized practices in a classroom help students achieve more.
The shift from a more traditional to a personalized learning was a little bit, it wasn't super confusing at the, so it was a little bit confusing at the beginning, but then eventually you got into it, and it's kind of faster because you can go at your own pace, and it just nothing's really holding you back.
I feel like more classes should give you more freedom with how you do the assignments. The only class I've really seen that with is English, where we have different things that we can do for assignments. But other classes don't really do that. It's specific criteria and stuff for most classes, and yeah.
It's definitely made me more independent. It's helped me with time management, but at the same time, it's hard to learn this stuff by myself most of the time.
I definitely feel that the personalization of topics in classes have definitely made me more interested in learning and definitely made me understand my research a lot more and remember it in the future and not just forget it once I learn it.
The thing I love about personalized learning is that I can re-watch the video or redo it or just ask Mr. Mears about the question, and I don't have to raise my hand in front of the entire class and ask.
A loose learning, because then you get the guidelines and base it what you want to do, but then you gotta kind of choose a subject or what you want to do that special project on.
So basically, if you fully understand what you're learning, you can go learn something else and keep on progressing until you get to higher and higher level. Basically, it's not a traditional way of learning. After you're done with this certain topic, you move on to the next one, and that's it. You don't really get to work on this subject that you're not familiar with. Just after it's done, you move on to the next one. And with personalized learning, you get to stay on it basically as long as you can, and then pretty sure you choose when you move on.
Personalizing the way students learn is a powerful step in finding ways too. As Rear Admiral Grace Hopper has been attributed with saying, the most dangerous phrase in the language is "we've always done it this way." So too is the most dangerous phrase in the world of education. That's why there's always a case for change. When districts, schools, and classrooms make a dedicated effort to personalize the learning of students, the benefits are clear.
My experience with the progression of learning is better than elementary school. I know what I need to get done within the span of time, and I know if I'm behind or ahead. In order to keep myself on track, I try to set goals to finish that learning target that day, and then I keep my pace up because I know how many things I need to get done in a certain amount of time.
I do not want to go back to where you were told to do something because my brain works where I choose what I do.
Well, personalized learning is like taught me really to like, above anything else, like value my time and not to like procrastinate as much, because like it kind of forces you to get things done in an orderly manner, and I think that's the biggest like lesson I've gotten out of personalized learning.
I think us as students had more fun learning that way. Like we're more engaged in the learning, and like I got better grades when I did the personal learning. So, yeah.
Something that I would like to grow is personalization, like doing what we did, because I really got to express myself in my work, and usually I don't get to do that, so I think it would make school a lot more fun, and not just for myself, for other people too.
I didn't really like learning with no choices, because you have to do something one direct way, and I'm not really good at doing that because a lot of times I just want to do it a different way, but then I get told I'm wrong and I have to redo it.
I really like having more than one option for a project. Even in my other like foreign languages and English sometimes too, there will be more than one avenue that you can take on a project, and I really like that personalization of like, I'm gonna pick what's best for me, because then I'm more interested in a project of like what I want to do, you know? Like if I'm not interested in something, then I'm not gonna want to do it, or do it as good on it, I guess.
So how my biology teacher does it, she gives us like multiple options to choose how to learn a concept. So what I want to see from other teachers is like giving us multiple choices of learning, like saying, hey, how do you learn this? And they would just give us a bunch of these list of ideas of how to do it. Because for me, I am a person that likes to draw. So drawing out it and like explaining while I'm drawing it helps me understand the concept that goes on in that class.
Projects like what we're doing, I guess.
Yeah, these are really fun. It's a fun way to learn, you know. Like tests are important, quizzes are important, but when you have these fun little projects, it makes you more engaged, and you want to keep like going with the class, and you're not so bored. You want to learn. You want to learn. It's healthy.
It's better than like worksheets.
Yeah.
I think I would change like the way some of the teachers teach, because like they teach like the whole, like instead of like individually helping like people understand, they teach like a whole group, and some people understand and like others don't.
Personalized learning shows that districts and teachers care about the learning of their students. It shows that you care about the passions and interests that students have now, and it shows us that you want to help us fine-tune our current strengths as learners. Overall, personalized learning is another step to building strong relationships with your students. One of the biggest factors to student success in high school is the positive relationships that you work to build with us on a day-to-day basis. Personalized learning is another way to combine academics with the compassion of teachers.
I'd like to say that the experience I've had at Cheney with the teachers, I don't think I would have like this type of experience at any school. I think it's pretty unique, and I want to thank some teachers like Ms. Riscard for the effort she's put into her lessons and how we learn.
First of all, support. I like to see support whenever I have education. Like if you just need help with a problem or just need help just re-explaining something. That's something that I really appreciate from some of my teachers.
Probably like more teachers like actually caring about the students. That's one thing that I noticed, that like only a few specific teachers that I have, I feel like actually care. And like when they ask you how you're doing, they actually want to know, and like stuff like that. Like there's not a lot of teachers like that.
The classrooms feel very welcome, because when you walk into a classroom, the teachers normally say hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, just to make you feel welcome and ready to learn.
Yeah, the teachers are always very happy at the start of the day.
Yeah.
As students, we implore you to consider how you can personalize our learning to help us set and fulfill our future student goals.
if I had to choose between personalized and traditional, I would pick personalized. We help each other out a bunch, and that's how we're able to like get this far into it. I would say go personalized.
Well, give it up for our learners for being brave and telling us a little bit from their perspective. Thanks. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about just our journey in West Fargo Public Schools because it's been a process and an evolution with personalized learning. So our journey started in 2018 when we applied to be part of the North Dakota PCBL cohort, and we're fortunate to join that cohort with 3 other districts, YCC, Northern Cass, and Oaks Public Schools. And it was through that opportunity and that collaboration in the cohort setting that we really started to understand what personalized learning is, what it looks like, and what it could look like for us specifically in West Fargo Public Schools. When we continued through that work, it led to some developments. For example, in 2019, we started thinking about the beliefs or the foundations of personalized learning. So as a cohort, we talked about what does personalized learning look like across the state of North Dakota, developed those pillars, and then began work in our own districts to identify what it really looks like within each district. So 2019, we started working on our West Fargo belief statements. And then after our new strategic plan was done in 2022, we updated and revised those. Of course, we all know the pandemic hit in 2020, and there was a need for change. And we started to see that how we give kids opportunities to engage in their learning, more choice in how they learn, and then more choice in how they demonstrate their learning was helpful during that time period. 2022, our committee started working on our new strategic plan, and there was lots of conversations about aligning the belief statements and the pillars of personalized learning into that new strategic plan, which we'll talk about here in a second. But in 2022, we also started implementing more professional development for our own staff, and so we led our own West Fargo Personalized Learning Institute in the summer, where educators from across the district at all levels got to be part of that professional learning. And it grew a lot from there because we just finished our second year of hosting our own internal Personalized Learning Institute for our staff, and this year was all educator-led, and we were pretty excited about that. So this just kind of shows you a little bit of how our 6 belief statements around personalized learning are all aligned with our district strategic plan. So you can see we have 3 main goals: wellness, academic, and choice ready. And within those 3 goals are our 6 pillars, which we'll show you on the next slide. So our pillars are the foundations, our beliefs of personalized learning really fall in these 6 areas: self-efficacy and agency. We believe in building self-efficacy and agency and empowering all learners to advocate for their own learning and the supports that they need to be successful. Relationships. We believe that learning has a social component and that all learners need to be engaged in safe and nurturing relationships that allow them to develop their intellectual, physical, social, and emotional well-being. And then, of course, a guaranteed and viable curriculum is an important part of the process as well. And so we believe that teaching is both in art and science, and we believe in a district GVC defined, clearly articulated, evidence-based, transparent, measurable proficiency in knowledge, skills, and dispositions. And we're going to talk about our profile of a graduate dispositions in a little bit. Our other 3 belief statements that align with personalized learning are assessment and feedback, so giving timely and actionable, relevant feedback in all aspects of education, pathways and pacing, so giving learners resources, supports, and spaces that empower them to determine appropriate learning for themselves. And then goal setting and reflection is a big part of personalized learning. We believe that goal setting and reflection are critical components of the learning process, and we encourage learners to examine their decisions, resources, resilience, and responsibility.
So as Erin said, we have the beliefs in West Fargo that we all align to, and kind of our outcomes with this work has been to make learning personal for all the learners in our district and to find what our learners love. And so it looks different at the elementary, the middle, the high school. But in the elementary, we really focus on laying those foundational skills. So for example, with self-efficacy and agency, we're really focusing on our learners building what do they know about themselves, what kind of learner are they, and then they can build on that as they move through their schooling.
The other thing that we focus on is really those profile of a graduate words, those soft skills that we recognize we have to teach our students, and so giving them opportunity to know what they know about themselves and to build on those strengths and be able to define it. And just something as simple as just knowing what do I know, where am I going, and what do I need, and can advocate for themselves.
At the middle level, we're really proud of how the elementary has been laying the foundation for us. And there's collective efficacy with Liberty, Cheney, and Heritage Middle School, and our educators working towards making learning personal for our kids. This is just some snippets of some of the things the middle schools are doing under self-efficacy and agency. We really want those learners to figure out, who am I, which is tough in middle school, because if they know who they are, they build that self-efficacy, which leads to them making good choices in their learning. And for assessment and feedback, we're really encouraging our educators to think about how are we assessing our learners as they're going through the formative process and at the end, and giving them multiple avenues to demonstrate that learning.
Yeah, and then in terms of pathway and pacing, I think we demonstrated that we're all learners at different speeds. And a better way to explain pacing, because pace can kind of become a four-letter word sometimes. Pace is appropriate challenge level. Kids should be working at the appropriate challenge level for them. So for some kids, they're ready to move on to something slightly harder. Some other kids need a little bit more time, and then you have your kids in the middle. And so having that flexibility of learning at their pace. And then none of this works if you don't have goal setting and reflection. Kids consistently goal setting, what am I trying to do today? What is my goal? And then did I reach it or not? And when they don't, some type of reflection on why didn't I reach it? What got in my way? Was it a friend? Was it my mindset going in? Was it the academics were hard in that moment? What's in the way?
When we think about high school, we are really thinking about all of the work that has been done before, and how are we going to help those learners now get ready for the future. And so I love what we're hearing up here. It's not just personalized learning, right? It's how are we making learning personal? It's not a thing, it is a how, and we need all of these pillars to help that learner meet their potential. And I love to connect it to this. When we're thinking about all of the experiences that kids are having from middle or elementary, middle, and in through high, they're making meaning of every single one of those experiences. And because of that meaning that they're making, that's where they're discovering their passions and those classes in high school that they want to try to see, do I really love this? Oh, that is not what I thought it was. Right? And then that's going to help them discover their purpose. How can they serve the larger community as they go out into the world? And as we start doing that, we dive into needing those soft skills, right, along the way. Now, we've talked about those POGs in elementary and in middle school, but now we're really thinking about what does compassion look like, not only in English, but what does it look like as a mathematician or a historian or in the sciences? So really diving into that content-specific area. And one way that West Fargo is really diving into this work is through the academy model. And so in our high schools, we have implemented that block to help build those relationships, to help us be learner-centered, so that we can continue to move into the academy model to help learners have lots of experiences to find their passion and their purpose and their next steps after high school.
Yeah, so this slide demonstrates the power of a good idea along with the ability for districts and our state to share resources and knowledge. If you go down this journey, one of the first problems you'll find is your educator saying, hey, you tell us to give kids voice and choice and have some flexibility in pacing and goal set, but we come to your PD days and we sit in the theater and you talk at us the whole time. And that's an aha moment. And so We stole this idea from Northern Cass. I think Northern Cass got it from another school. I think it was Oaks. Oaks might have got it from another school. And so this is an idea, but also the power of collaboration. And so the idea is a choice board for professional development, a series of choices teachers can choose and learn at their own speed and their own ability and their own passions during those PD days. And so on the left, the gray one is the first rendition that one school in West Fargo did 3 years ago. Last year, every middle school in West Fargo did a choice board, and this year we're proud to say that every single school in West Fargo is doing a choice board for their professional development. It's a good example of a great idea that catches fire because it works.
I get the fun part. I get to invite you to this wonderful personalized learning network. North Dakota is now, you can see we have a logo, we have a mission, we have all sorts of things going on. If you want to join this personalized learning network, there will be modules coming out. You'll get information about that. Something that you can join right away without committing to the network is Takeaway on Tuesdays. There will be some book studies, there will be some site visits, and so we've got a breakout session this afternoon. You can come and join us, and that would be awesome. One thing I wanted to leave you with as an educator, whenever somebody says, oh, let's do this, I go, oh, one more new thing on my plate this year. Personalized learning is not that. I'm a band director. I've been doing personalized learning for like 40 years, and it's all about the kids. And it's all about what they learn and how they learn and why they learn what they learn. And so it's really focused on the learners. And I thought, these are my peeps. I do this. This is really fun. So as a person on this team, it's really been nice for me to listen to all the other things that are going on in all of our buildings in West Fargo. And even if somebody says, oh, well, we don't do that personalized learning, I bet you do. And you don't want to necessarily join some new thing, but it's not new. You're already doing it. And so this is a resource team. It's a place you can go to get all sorts of extra ideas. And so my invitation to you is to check us out at the Personalized Learning session in a little bit.
Thank you for letting us share our story. We're continuing on our journey and we'll keep evolving, but we're excited to be here today and share our work with you. So thank you.